Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Yes, Circa Resort and Casino. We are back in Las Vegas. Last night out on Fremont Street had some happening things going on, and always enjoy being back down in Las Vegas at Circa Resort and Casino, part of their contest weekend. You know, you go down on Fremont Street, you get the guys making the doing the pictures. Here's the magician trying to get you to get the card. They always love seeing the street performers down there on Fremont Street. Not sure this would have been the street performing job I would pick with the gorilla here making his rounds. The drummer threw a buck in his tin. He was trying hard there. So always enjoy coming down, the sights and sounds. If you've never been to Fremont Street, Circa Resort and Casino, you are certainly missing out. And Derek Stevens, who's going to join us here shortly, is giving away that vehicle that you see right there on your screen. But inside Radio Row, you come on in. And we are looking forward to this one. Going to be a lot of fun live. We bring you into the Galaxy Ballroom here at Circa Resort and Casino. You can see all the things going on behind me. Jay Tust going to join me in just a second from back in Boise. Derek Stevens, the CEO, the owner of Circa Resort and Casino, going to join us during the show as well. Super excited to be down here. Appreciate Circa for having us. And we're still going to talk Boise State football, but just doing it in a little different spot here for the next couple of days as part of our contest weekend. So appreciate you guys for joining us, for checking us out. And we are signing up like 8 or 9 entries for the Circa Millions, the Circa Survivor. You see the hats here. We're going to have some fun. Brad Bedell is on his way down today. He will be hosting right here with me tomorrow. Looking forward to that. But you know, if you still want in, we can sign you up. The Circa Millions, $6 million guaranteed. You just pick 5 games against the spread every week with a point spread. There's quarterly, there's season prizes, 126 different ways to win with the Circa Millions contest. And then there's Circa Survivor, $10 million winner take all is the other contest they have going on. So you have to sign up from here in Las Vegas or in Nevada, but you can play from anywhere in the United States using the proxies. Our proxy is Tom Carroll, so we'll tell you more about him as we go along. But 30 35 radio stations broadcasting live here. And if you bring in our man, Jay Tust. Jay, we were just in this same room, about 3 weeks ago for Mountain West Media Days. It looks a little different now, but appreciate you for jumping on, man, for a couple of minutes. And wish you were down here, but I know we were just down here a couple weeks ago, and always a good time down at Circa.
Well, you have to ask Derek if he wants to throw another little party for us or whatever when we come, what is it, in October for the UNLV game.
We are going to try to do that. Yes, we're going to make that happen. We actually have the package that we're putting together, $500. Fans can come down and get 2 nights hotel, airfare, and then a pregame party. I think we're trying to get Johnny and Prater to maybe come down and do their show at the party. There's going to be some drinks, some food, maybe a Jay Tust live shot with some screaming fans in the background. And then, you get transportation over to the game and back. And so, if you're interested in that, coming down here in October for the game, we can make that happen for you. Jay, I've got my and this is something I feel like John Mallory needs to have, the NFL schedule here week by week. This is the smaller version. I'm going to buy Johnny the full-size version to put on his wall in his office there. But the Survivor contest, I'm going to enter it. We made it till week 8 or 9 last year. I don't know if you've looked at the week 1 NFL schedule. They have the odds behind us. The Chiefs are -3 in their opener, but week 1, and now we have the books. We can get going on Survivor, but always fun on a Sunday, Jay, to have a little NFL to watch. And I don't know, I'll be needing your help on some picks this year, but I'll bring you one of these.
We're getting closer to that time, man. I mean, a week from today a week from tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, a week from tomorrow we'll be en route to. No, a week from today, we'll be en route to
right
Statesboro.
Now, unfortunately, we'll already be on one of our 2 layovers, I think, on the way to Statesboro a week from right now. Yes, we are. I can't believe it's already here. And get a couple days down here in Las Vegas, do the shows, and then we leave Thursday morning. I think Jay and I and some of the crew are on the 5:40 a.m. flight heading to Denver. We get a nice. I know you look so happy about that. When I told you the time, you weren't sure of it, and I said, no, I think it's at 5:40 in the morning, and you were like, are you serious? I'm like, yep. And then we get not 1 layover, Jay, but 2. We get to hang out in Nashville for a while too on the second layover, and then that only gets us to Savannah, where it's about an hour drive after that. But the joys of sports media covering this team, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun. I'm training right now. I'm editing the blueprint, so I'm on about the 4-hour night sleep schedule for the next week or so until we get to Savannah, Georgia, where we resume the 4-hour night sleep schedule.
Yes.
It's all good though, man. I'm so excited for this team to just start friggin' playing games, to be honest with you.
It's going to be a lot of fun. What is the update? I know, and we're pulling you from the editing, so we apologize. We appreciate you jumping on for a few minutes. But what is the season preview, the blueprint? When can folks check all that stuff out?
Yeah, the season preview will debut actually Sunday night in place of Sunday Sports Extra. It'll air it again before kickoff, but the blueprint airs live on KTVB next Friday, an hour 4:30 to 5:30. So the day before Boise State and Georgia Southern get after it, a little behind the scenes as you can look at fall camp with the Boise State football team.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of the features for the various shows you've been working on, and looks like it's going to be an awesome show. So hopefully folks will make sure the various channels you'll check out KTVB and the blueprint and the season preview, and they'll have all that over, I'm sure, social media and website, ktvb.com and stuff as well. But again, Derek Stevens, the owner of this fine establishment, is going to join us here in about a half an hour. We're looking forward to catching up with him. I just saw our guy, you might be able to see him in the background, Jay, Alex Gold, former media member in Boise. He is doing his show here from Kansas City at one of the tables behind us here. So there's about 35 radio stations, podcasts from around the country, Kansas City, Chicago, some of the other big areas that Circa Sports advertises in, because Circa Sports, I believe, now is in 5 states as they continue to expand their reach. And so they do this big contest weekend. Everybody come down and you enter the contest and have a chance to do some cool meet and greets and events and things. And this is the 3rd year, I think, for contest weekend we've come down. It's getting bigger and bigger every year, and excited for that. But it also means it's about go time, as you said. We mentioned the Boise State season, Jay, starting next weekend. There are games this weekend. The Florida State Georgia Tech game, or is that in Dublin or somewhere overseas? That game is going to be at 9 a.m. on Saturday Pacific time here, 10 a.m. back in Boise. So maybe a mimosa and be in the pool on Saturday at 9 a.m. Watching some college football before I fly back. But yes, there are 4 or 5, and I think multiple games, including Mountain West teams, on the docket here in just 2 days.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's gonna be one of those crazy things where we're not ready till next week, and then we wake up on Friday or Saturday and pop on the TV, and it's like, oh man, we can watch some college football. So it's the It's the best. I don't know. I want to say it's the best time of year because I feel like in the spring I say it's the best time of year. In the summer it's the best time of year. But it is an awesome time of year where we can wake up and celebrate the sport we all love, college football.
Yeah, no, it's going to be super exciting. Jay, the hay is kind of in the barn at this point in terms of we know who the starting quarterback is at this point. We seem to know most of the position battles. I guess a lot of those will go public when the depth chart comes out on Monday. But as you sit here a week from taking off from Statesboro, what are kind of your big picture thoughts here a week from getting the season going?
My thoughts are is I think this team has a chance to be very very good. We won't know until we actually see them on the field, but there are just so many returners on defense. They this whole fall camp, no practice, BJ, has has seemed to really drag, whether it be for us as spectators or for the guys participating in these practices. And I thought that would be the case considering we have access to the entire practices now, but they all go by pretty darn fast and the team still seems fresh despite the fact they put a ton of work into this. And so I think when you hear guys like Alexander Tubner say, like, he said something along the lines yesterday of, in the past we felt like we said things that we hadn't earned yet. And he said this year, it has a different feel, like this team, the way they've approached it in terms of what they want to do and what they want to achieve and what they want to earn, that it feels a little different. And so it's also interesting, BJ, to hear how many guys have brought up the college football playoff, if we're being honest.
I
You
was
want to
going to
talk
bring
about
that up. Yep.
odds. You want to talk about odds and stuff down there in Vegas. I mean, it's no doubt a goal of this team. And I personally like the fact when these kids are old enough to where they can say things and not just get completely distracted by them, in my opinion.
Yep.
And so throwing it out there that's the goal, that's the mission, to be the first Boise State football team ever to play in the college football playoff. I have no problems with that, man. Like, I love the fact that they're having that confidence and throwing their goal out there, and let's go see if they can do it.
Yeah.
One more thing too, BJ, is I think the thing is cool about this team, and I don't know if this has ever been the case at Boise State, but the Broncos could legitimately argue they have the best player at three different positions in the country. I mean, Jonah Dalmas, if he's not the best kicker in the country, he is right up there with anyone. James Ferguson Reynolds, punting average means a lot when it comes to evaluating a punter. He led the country last year. And then finally, Ashton Genty might be the best running back in college football. In my opinion, I think the dude is. And I think that's pretty cool to say. I don't know if I've ever been able to even consider that Boise State might have three of the best players in the country at three different positions.
Yeah, pretty crazy to think about. And obviously, in terms of the conference, you could say they have the best position at numerous spots in the conference when you talk about defensive end and maybe linebacker and I guess wide receiver will be tough with some of the guys in the conference. But the talent level is certainly high on this team. And we've talked about this, Jay. There's been more NFL scouts that we've seen around practice than have been around this team in a while. And there is just it's weird because you do kind of get caught up in it because we cover them. We see them every day. Like I'm sure people in, covering Colorado State and Fort Collins are thinking, man, this has a chance to be a special team, or this has a chance. You don't want to get too caught up in it. But when you do look at it on paper and when you watch them at practice and you look at it and you're like, man, like this team really does have a chance to do something special. And I know we were talking yesterday about the playoff predictor odds, but you lose to Oregon, you win the rest of the games, you win your conference, which is a lot easier, said than done. They're going to be in a really strong position. I don't, depending on who the second loss is, I don't think two losses eliminates them from the playoff. If they've got two and somebody else, a Liberty, has one, I certainly think there's a chance that they could still get in there. But I mean, I did it again yesterday, Jay. I'm watching Ashton Genty, and I know they're not tackling, but a couple of these runs in practice, I mean, they can't even touch them. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, like, if he, everything goes good, knock on wood, and he's out there, and they're going to unleash him against Georgia Southern, and I cannot wait to see it because I saw 3 or 4 runs yesterday where he just would make a cut, and they're not even trying to tackle him. They're just trying to touch him, and they can't even touch him, man. He's had a really impressive camp from what I've seen.
Yeah, it is almost time to turn him loose, and I think from the jump, he's going to be electric. He might house his first touch of the season. I'm not even kidding. Like, I remember back
on the opening kick return.
I don't know about kick return, but I like first touch, man. I think it's there. I go back to like my the end of my college career, and there's a guy named Jerome Harrison for the Washington State Cougars, and they nicknamed him the Ghost, and I thought it was kind of a dumb nickname. And on the first carry of the season, he made a move, went 80 yards to the house. And after that, I was like, hey, the Ghost is a pretty sweet nickname, actually. I love it. So I just want to be surprised if Ashton does something really, really special to catch everyone's attention right out the gate. And then that builds the hype, man. That creates the buzz that you need going into week 2 against Oregon. Boise State is barely outside the top 25 at the moment. If they go over cross country, beat Georgia Southern, by double digits or something like that, and Ashton Genty has a big game, I think you're going to have a lot of AP voters ready to put Boise State in the top 25 for a top 25 showdown in Eugene the following week against the Ducks.
That would certainly be exciting, and we'll see what Oregon does. Are they playing Idaho the first game?
They are.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting on that. All right, Jay. So we'll get into kind of some of the season preview stuff next. We got a couple topics I wanted to hit on, but I know we talked to you about it Tuesday, but there's been 2 more days. I don't know if you had a chance to see Brad Bedell's comments yesterday, but just in general, the quarterbacks 2 days later, it sounds like they're going to talk next week at some point, or at least Maddox Madsen will. Today is the final media availability until game week, actually after practice today. But just where are you? Any different thoughts from 2 days ago in terms of the quarterbacks and Maddox Madsen, and we saw obviously Malachi Nelson still out at practice. He didn't transfer. Where are you at? Now it seems like most people are starting to kind of turn that, as we tried to do on Tuesday, but a lot of people I think are turning their angst or anger or whatever it is to, all right, maybe Maddox is the right guy. I'll support him for now. I mean, where are you at here on a Thursday after the 4 days now for the news to settle?
I just wish that I was as intimidating as that big teddy bear Brad Bedell is. You know what I mean? Like, he tells everybody to shut up and it works. We tell everybody that just to pump the brakes, and everybody still goes crazy over it. So
Yeah.
I actually saw that comment that he made last night, and I mean, there's nothing that I can disagree with that, man. I think he hit it all on the head. And I will say this, that it is even some points that I felt like we tried to mention, though, seriously. Like, again, last year was a true freshman year for Malachi Nelson at USC. He transfers and he's learning an entirely new offense. And it's really funny because, Brad actually kind of explained this. And I think that we just say that, yeah, generalize, he's learning an entirely new offense. And Brad went into it a little bit. And maybe that makes it hit home a little bit more. Like, he's learning a new offense. It takes time. And so once he masters this thing, we'll see what happens. And until then, he'll have to just continue to battle behind Maddox Madsen. But man, another thing too, like, if you really listen to interviews and you're not necessarily even listening to the words, man. You're really paying attention to tone and delivery and who says what first and things like this. And I'm telling you, like, I don't know. I hate that I even have to say, like, I preface it with, it's not like they don't like Malachi Nelson. Everybody says they love Malachi Nelson, but it just seems like the confidence level in Maddox Madsen is very, very high right now. Like, everybody says, like, he's just not mistake prone. Like, if he makes one mistake, it's the last mistake of practice he makes. Like, he's able to put it in the past and move on very, very good and very quickly. And so there's just a really good feel. And it's funny, I was talking with one player this week about I was like, who do you feel like could be like an underdog on this team, or somebody that nobody's, really talking about, or maybe somebody that's being counted out. And he gave me a couple names, and then, like, a couple minutes later, he came back to me and he goes, I can't believe I have to say this, but maybe Maddox Madsen is one of them, considering some of the reaction. Like, he's still an underdog apparently. And I think that Maddox is going to have a great season opener. I do. I gotta,
dude.
My instinct says that he's going to be just fine.
And I got to tell you, man, there was a throw yesterday in practice, and I don't know if they actually whistled the play dead or not, because, I mean, Spencer Danielson went down celebrating, but nobody else really did, so they might have blown it dead. But, I mean, it doesn't matter. The throw happened and the catch happened. There was a one-on-one, and Cam Camper went long, and I was right in the corner behind the ball, kind of from the reverse angle. The ball was going away from me, but I had a perfect angle. And Maddox Madsen just unleashes this long ball down the sidelines, and the ball is just traveling. And when I'm watching the angle of the ball and I'm seeing where Cam Camper is, I'm like, there's no way he's getting to that ball. Yeah. And the timing was perfect. The route was perfect. And I mean, again, you or I, Jay, could have probably, caught the ball right over. I mean, it was an unbelievable throw. just hit him in stride, beat the DB, was gone for a touchdown. And I'm telling you, man, the ball was in the air for 50 yards probably. They were at the 30-yard line, the other 30. Cam Camper probably caught it around the 15, 20 and just basically walked into the end zone. I mean, there's no denying that Maddox Madsen throws a nice ball.
I agree with you, man.
And who was it yesterday, by the way, that said his was it Bolt or one of those guys that just said that like every throw is pretty much right on the money too?
Yeah, Bolt said that there's very little like adjustments that he has to make as a wide receiver to go catch a pass that's thrown by Maddox Madsen. He says usually it's pretty darn near on money almost all the time. So yeah, it's a new era. And I said this earlier this week on the show. Was that yesterday, BJ? Goodness gracious.
Tuesday.
No, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. They're all running together.
We
right
gave you
now,
one day off. Yeah.
This is a chance there's a really good chance here that Maddox, I mean, let's face this, man. If all goes well, Maddox Madsen is going to be starting quarterback at Boise State for 3 years.
Very well could be. That's what you say. Multiple people forget that he's a redshirt sophomore, and to piggyback off what you just said before you jump back in, Jay, like we haven't talked to Maddox in a while since he got the job, but even when he was competing for the job, the comment that stood out to me was he's like, yeah. Like kind of like I have to remind folks, like I'm here. Yep, like I'm here. Like I've done some things too. Like I really believe, and I remember we talked to Dirk Cutter before camp started. Said like, do you get a sense that like he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder? And he's like, no, there's no sense. I don't have a sense. He 100% does, and I can only imagine that he's seeing people when he gets picked the starter going, really? You went with him? Like I fully expect Maddox Madsen, and we've also heard the defense. If you had to pick one side of the ball for Georgia Southern, that may be lacking a little bit. It might be their defense. I fully expect Maddox Madsen to come out. Not doing it in week 2 in Autzen Stadium, that's a different thing. But I fully expect him to come out and play well. You just hope that first drive, there's not some sort of interception or turnover where all of a sudden the fans can jump right in. Oh, here we go. Mm-hmm. But I fully expect Maddox Madsen is going to be very motivated. Whether that's good enough, we'll find out. But I think he's going to put his best foot forward and does have a chance, I think, at least in week 1 to really shut some people up.
Yeah, and you know what? To be honest with you, I don't think Maddox gives two what's. Like I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares the noise. I think he's just ready to go out there and play ball. Let it spin. And I'm excited for him, man. Like he's earned this opportunity. So I can't wait to see what he does against Georgia Southern and beyond that for that matter. And not really worried about any other circumstances other than that at the moment.
It's so crazy though, Jay. Somehow both quarterbacks are taking shrapnel from this. Like Maddox Madsen's been taking some heat, or I guess Boise State in general, which comes back on him negatively. Like, oh, you're going with Maddox Madsen, like dude, hey, and then they're ripping on Malachi for being the 5-star guy that couldn't win the job or whatever. And like it's somehow like there's supposed to be like a winner, and then the other guy doesn't get in. Both of them, even the winner, is getting some negative stuff here. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, what's crazy is that sometimes national media chimes in and they just have this 30,000-foot view, or maybe something someone relays something to them, but they're not seeing it every day, and so their opinions aren't often right. And I mean, I would take exception with what somebody tweeted out earlier this week after Maddox Madsen was named the starter. They said that I can't remember who it was in all honesty, BJ, but somebody said something along the lines of is that Malachi Nelson was supposed to be there, parent to Caleb Williams, and then he transfers and loses the starting quarterback job to
I believe that was Stuart Mandel.
Okay, to Maddox Madsen. Well, you can't lose something you never had. Like since day 1 of fall camp, Spencer Danielson said that Maddox Madsen would have had the opportunity to run with the Blues, which is the number 1 offense. And when Maddox was out in the spring, Malachi had those opportunities and stuff like that. So going into fall camp, Maddox was the guy that Malachi had to beat out, and he couldn't beat him out. So I don't think that he necessarily lost the starting quarterback job, because I don't know if he technically ever really had it. That was Maddox's from the jump, and Maddox went out there and did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah,
just my opinion. How sometimes the national media can chime in, and nothing against those guys. I know they have everything in the world that they're paying attention to. I guess just sometimes it's the approach on.
Everybody assumed it though, man.
End. Yeah,
everybody just assumed that Malachi Nelson, from from the national perspective, when he came, assumed it would be him. I mean, and as we've talked about, this is the second straight year where a different coaching staff has thought Maddox Madsen was the better option. And I think that the story should be more positive regarding him than it is the negative of a 5-star guy maybe not getting the job.
I mean, ESPN was a good article. Don't get me wrong, but they wrote some massive piece on Malachi, and it's just. I don't know. Like those are just things where you want to talk about creating unnecessary noise and pressures and things like that. Like I
Yep.
think I'd point to stuff like that, not necessarily us, but
Hey,
it is what it is.
by the way, we don't need your questions just yet, but please get them ready because I want to get them in a row. But we are going to have the CEO owner, Derek Stevens. And last year he came on and we had a couple fan questions and he told me he really liked that part of it. So if we can get some fan questions, if you've ever had a question you wanted to talk to a multi-millionaire casino owner, anything at all about owning a casino, the sports gambling, stadium swim, any kind of question you have for Derek Stevens, please put that in the chat here in a couple of minutes. I'll ask for it. And then, frankly, if you could throw in a couple of nice things about BNN and thank their sponsorship, I'll read those on the air for him, too. I'm sure that'll look nice. But just have your question ready. We'll ask for it here in a couple of minutes when he joins us. Jay, we only got you for a couple more minutes here. In terms of some storylines that maybe we're not talking about, obviously, we've talked about Cam Bates, and it sounds like he is going to have some sort of a role here. But is there a position or another player or some storylines that the quarter that is, because of the domination of the quarterback story and some of the other ones is not maybe getting talked about enough that should, good or bad or concern or positive going into the season here?
I just think up front, like that's an area that I mean, either side of the ball, in all honesty, it's just hard to stay healthy if you're a defensive or offensive lineman. It's such a physical combat position to play, pretty much, right? On the defensive line, they seem, once you get down past, the second string, it's a little unproven, so it gets a little shaky. On the offensive line, I think they do have a little bit of depth, but I do think that there is, amongst the starting five they can put out there right now, there is a little bit of a drop off. So if that unit can stay intact and stay healthy, when you combine them with the talents of Ashton Genty and Breezy Dubar and Sire Gaines and Tyler Crow and that the plethora of running backs that Boise State has, I mean, that's a dangerous combination. So that health up front is something that is going to be just pivotal for this team to achieve what they can. But really quick, BJ, since I know my time's running out too, I did have a question for Derek.
What was that?
You'll just have to relay this. Whose idea was it to put $2 million in gold bars?
The gold bar. Oh yeah, up in the Legacy Club. Yes,
up in the Legacy Club.
Somebody write that in the chat about the 2 million. Yeah, ask about how did you get that? Don't you have YouTube, Jay? You can chime in and ask the question here. Come on.
I'll jump on after this then.
Okay.
But yeah, just if not though, just relay that.
And the coolest thing about that is how there's a counter, like a digital clock, and every time the money's worth more, it keeps adding. It keeps adding to the total.
Yeah, so I just go ahead and ask him that for me. His buddy Jay back in Boise, or your buddy Jay back in Boise, really wants to know that question.
That is the high-end Legacy Club on the 60th floor, folks, that most of us can't get in, but Jay Tust can get up there whenever he'd like to have a cocktail or a beverage and hang out. Beautiful skyline view of the Las Vegas Strip overlooking it, and I just tell them that I'm with Jay Tust, and they let me up there.
Don't wear flip-flops.
Did you get turned away?
No, I saw there was a sign out there that said, I had them on, but there's a sign that said, I was like, oh, this is how fancy it is. And by the way, you beat me up there, so.
Well, some of us like you actually work in the evening too and work all day. So yeah, we're what a shame you're still working, doing a tremendous job. Somebody's asking about right tackle. Do we know who the right tackle is? I assume we haven't seen the official depth chart. No one said it, but when I asked Spencer, he said it sounded like Hall Schmidt was the heavy leader. I think Hall Schmidt's going to be your right tackle.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I have nothing to dismiss that at this point in time.
And there are a couple. What can we say? They've been shuffling the O-line a little bit. Let's just say that the last week or two. So it's kind of hard to get an exact gauge of where guys are at. Even yesterday, they had some movement at left guard and some other spots, and different guys were getting chances in there. So I don't know if we 100% know for sure what the five's going to be. We think we know, but we'll find out next week.
It's funny though too, because I think that, and I speak about this I'm not just implying offensive line here. I think you go across the board. I think what Spencer's emphasized this year is keeping guys fresh and things like that. And for these guys that have been here for 5, 6, some of them 7 seasons, you don't need to exhaust yourself every single snap of every single practice. Like for some guys, there's just going to be a different plan moving forward, right? So some of that stuff I read between the lines. Some of it I think that it's just a whole maintenance thing. So
Well, any final thoughts, Jay? We appreciate you for jumping on. You got to get back to your editing and things. We're going to have Derek Stevens join us here shortly, but I know it was a last-minute thing. Johnny had a scheduling issue, so appreciate you jumping on. And I guess we'll do this Tuesday of game week, and then Friday morning from a hotel in Savannah, Georgia. And game week is about here, Jay. We made it.
Almost. I'm not celebrating until the preseason and the special and the blueprint are done. So maybe like Tuesday, I'm hoping. If I'm celebrating, I hope I can celebrate by Tuesday.
If folks jumped on late again, when can they check that stuff out?
The blueprint, which is an hour-long special, kind of a documentary style look at the Boise State football team in the preseason buildup. That begins at 4:30 next Friday, 4:30 to 5:30 next Friday. The night before, the day before kickoff and against Georgia Southern.
Looking forward to it. Can't wait, Jay. Appreciate it. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break. We're going to have Derek Stevens joining us shortly. So, again, get your comments, get your questions in right now. We'll take them. Your comments, your questions, get them in. And then Derek Stevens is going to join us in a little bit. We're back live at Circa Resort and Casino in 2 minutes here on Bronco Nation News. All Bronco Nation News broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers. That includes the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer in the country to support an NIL collective. A portion of the proceeds from each sale of the Horseshoe Golden Ale go directly to Boise State student athletes via the Horseshoe Collective. Western Collective's beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, are available at most major retailers in Idaho. Western Collective, the studio sponsor at Bronco Nation News. Our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. For over 23 years, Row Painting has built a name synonymous with excellence in the painting and coatings industry. We serve a diverse portfolio of clients, including residential homeowners and homeowners associations, commercial businesses, general contractors, and industrial site purchasers. All of their clients receive the peace of mind that comes with expert project management, safe, skilled, and experienced painters, and professional-grade equipment. They provide a stress-free experience while solving your painting needs. They've completed more than 11,500 projects, including the back patio and garage in the Rains house, and they can do your project next. Our title sponsor, again, check them out online, roepaint.com. Give them a call, 208-991-0567. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics and the title sponsor of Bronco Nation News, roepaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union has been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. Don't have time to run to the branch to deposit your check? No problem. With Idaho Central Credit Union's mobile deposit feature in the mobile banking app, you can deposit your check anytime, anywhere. See why over 500,000 members love Idaho Central Credit Union. Again, that's 1 in 4 Idahoans. Make the switch today at iccu.com. Lithia Ford of Boise supports Boise State Athletics as the official car and truck of the Broncos and through NIL deals with Jonah Dalmas, Andrew Simpson, Ahmed Hassanin, and Matt Lauder. 4 Boise State football players rocking vehicles from Lithia Ford, as well as Paige Barsh from the volleyball team and Brooke Patterson from the women's golf team. The fall kickoff sale is going on today at Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out online and view their full inventory of vehicles at lithiafordboise.com. For your next car or truck purchase, think Lithia Ford. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Back here live at Circa Resort and Casino as part of their contest weekend. We're going to have Derek Stevens, the owner of this fine establishment, join us live here in just a few minutes. So if you do have a question or a comment, get those in now. I can ask 100 questions of Derek, but we'd like to get some fan questions. He said last time he really enjoyed that. So if you have a question you've ever wanted to ask about sports gambling, sports betting, building, Circa Resort and Casino, the 3 casinos he owns, Las Vegas, any question you've ever wanted to ask, literally a billionaire casino owner, you now have your shot. So get it in the chat right now, and we'll get those questions answered here in just a couple of minutes. I'm holding my huge NFL schedule here that says every game. This is like $10 down in the gift shop. So we're excited to be down here and sign up for the contest. They give you a hat when you sign up, and you get all kinds of cool stuff. They've got the 2 contests going on. The Millions contest, $6 million in guaranteed money, $1,000 entry fee, 5 entries max per person, and there's 126 different ways to win. You get $1 million for first place. There's $3.65 million divided between places 2 and 100, and then there's 300,000 prizes per each quarter of the NFL season. So you could be doing terrible all year, get hot the last 4 weeks and have a chance to win $300,000. And then maybe the one that I'll be competing for, the last place booby prize of $100,000 if you finish in last place, then $50,000 if you finish in second to last place. So that's the millions contest, $1,000 entry, $6 million, and then the Survivor, the classic Survivor. Pick a team, can't pick them again. $10 million guaranteed. It's the largest payout that they've ever had in a football contest anywhere in the world. $10 million, and it's again, we're signing people up. We've already signed up 4 BNN viewers back home that wanted us to sign them up. And we were able to get them signed up, and they're going to. I'll be taking their hat back to them. So if you're interested, reach out to us. We can sign you up while we're here, and then bring you back your entry fee. And again, $16 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Resort and Casino, they're having their contest weekend, so they've got 30 or 40 kind of podcast radio shows down here broadcasting their shows. So again, Derek Stevens is going to join us here in a couple of minutes, so go ahead and get your questions in now. Come on, folks. I got 200 of you watching live right now. Let's get some good questions for Derek. What would you ever want to ask a billionaire casino owner if you had a question? Now is your chance. So get your questions in, get them in the queue here, and then we'll have them ready to go when Derek jumps on. So we want your questions, your comments, your thoughts, hopefully your thanks to Derek for sponsoring BNN. Let's throw some love his way for that as well. So again, amazing spot down here at Circa, amazing spot down here at in Las Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino, and it is a great spot for us. We love coming down here. They've been a big sponsor and supporter of ours, and we're having a lot of fun, and we're thankful to be down here for contest weekend. As I said, tomorrow morning we're going to have Brad Bedell. He is flying down today and going to join us live tomorrow. And how about this? John Molchon, who lives here in Las Vegas, he is going to join us as well. So Brad Bedell, John Molchon, and I, a little three-way chat here. That's going to be fun tomorrow morning, and that's going to be at 9 a.m. Pacific again, 10 a.m. back in Boise. So we appreciate you guys for the time change and still hanging out with us here. So we got about 35 radio stations, podcasts from around the country joining us here. So it's a pretty cool thing to do here with contest weekend, signing folks up, and there's an open bar event tonight, tomorrow out by the pool as well. So again, having a lot of fun. Excited to be down here. Hope you guys will sign up for the contest and give us a subscription, a like on YouTube there. Bottom of the screen, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you join us. And again, we've got some cool stuff going on with BNN. We're doing the trip down here to Las Vegas for the football game in October with, True Blue Travels. We'd love to have you sign up for that as well. And come check this place out in person. They're throwing a free party, free drinks. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then they're going to provide transportation to and from the game as well. So super excited for that. Super excited to be here for contest weekend, and we are super excited to have Derek Stevens joining us in just a few minutes. So get those comments in. I see one question already. Let's see. Give us get your comments, your questions, any legitimate question you've ever wanted to ask a billionaire casino owner. You have your chance coming up here in a couple of minutes as Derek Stevens does a Q&A with the fine folks here on our YouTube chat. So if you're on Facebook, if you're on X, switch over to YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. We'd love to have you on there. And as I've always told you, we're trying to build the YouTube channel, and we're well over 5,000 now. We're trying to push it towards 6,000 here as soon as we can. So, again, we're having a lot of fun down here in Las Vegas. We'll be heading out Saturday to get back to Boise. Game week on Monday. We'll have the Spencer Danielson press conference live, and then we'll have all of our game week coverage and head out for Statesboro on Thursday. So those of you that are going to Savannah, going to Statesboro, let us know Friday night. Maybe we won't have an official BNN kind of meetup thing. It's just too hard to coordinate, but maybe you can get together with some of you guys Friday evening if you're going to be around in Savannah. Would love to do that. So before I forget, I want to thank Aaron Oster. I want to thank Stephen Kelly, the whole marketing team here at Circa, for having us down. They do a tremendous job. I think you can see Stephen right there over my shoulder. He's sitting right there, and he does a great job. Aaron as well, and then obviously David and the whole crew, all the way up to Derek, for having us. We're super appreciative of them. Our tech guy Jason Beaver doing a hell of a job as well, helping us get to on the air here. So any lighting or sound problems, don't blame me. You can blame Jason Beaver. So we appreciate him for coming down and helping us get on the air and all the technical stuff, and that's why it probably looks as good as it ever has here. So please get your comments, your questions in. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break, the final break before Derek Stevens joins us here in about 3 minutes. So if you can get your questions in, get your comments in, get your nice words for them sponsoring BNN. And if you've ever stayed here because of that, put that in the chat, and we'll throw all those his way. But any questions about sports gambling, any questions about the football contest, any questions about the Super Bowl being in Vegas, pro sports being in Vegas, any question that you've ever wanted to ask for a billionaire casino owner, we will give you your chance to do that here in just a second. I see a couple popping in now, so I'm really appreciative and thankful for that. But it's going to be, Derek's done a lot for BNN, started randomly, super excited, happy to be able to build that relationship with Derek over the years, and it's been a lot of fun to have him involved with Bronco Nation News. And there may even have to bring it up to him, but there's talk in the works about Derek and the Circa crew maybe bringing the jet up for a football game this fall and going to the Blue. That would be pretty cool if we could make that happen. So if you got a question or comment for Derek, we will go ahead and put that in the chat. And we will get ready to have Derek Stevens on here momentarily. Don't forget, by the way, the quest for $9.2 million Circa Survivor. It's the first of its kind docuseries. Follows the contestants as they navigate their way through the Survivor Pro Football Contest. This is last year's kind of a documentary of how it went. $9.2 million was the prize last year. They bumped it up to 10 this year. It's a unique show, captures the excitement and drama throughout the entire season of what it was like to win life-changing money. So if you want to know what it's like to win the $9.2 million and follow those guys in the last couple weeks of the season, it's 5 episodes, and it's running on the VSiN.com, VSiN's YouTube channel, and it's on X and on VSiN as well. So make sure you check that out. I want to give them a shout. Circa Survivor, the quest for $9.2 million, and that's on the VSiN YouTube channel. It's a pretty cool show that I saw them filming part of it last year. By the way, if you have any thoughts on Week 1 Survivor, anybody, any team I should be looking at, let us know if you've already looked at the board here and if you've got your own copy, or if you're looking at Week 1's picks. The Week 1 Survivor, we're trying to find where we can go, because you got to have strategy on this thing, but you obviously got to win, and you got to pick 20 correct, because there's 18 weeks. And you got to have a second pick for Christmas and a second pick for Thanksgiving as well. So I got a couple I'm looking at, but if you have any ideas on a thought, we'll take that. But I'm going to go ahead and take our quick timeout. I think Derek Stevens is going to join us right after the break. So get your questions, get your comments in. Again, Derek Stevens live coming up in just a couple of minutes. We'll be right back with Derek Stevens in 2 minutes here on Bronco Nation News. The Treasure Valley freestanding Taco Bell stores are hiring. Check out TacoBellWorks.com to apply for a job. Great promotional opportunities, free food while you work, half your wages the next day after your shift. If you're looking for a new job, think Taco Bell. SON Management Group and the Nicolason family, and TacoBellWorks.com. Taco Bell serves up some of the best breakfast in the Valley. Try the breakfast sausage quesadilla, the breakfast California crunch wrap, the toasted breakfast sausage or bacon burrito, or the breakfast crunch wrap combo. Bronco Nation News thanks Taco Bell, the SON Management Group, and the Nicolason family for their support. Get more information on their impact on the community and apply for a job at TacoBellWorks.com. Check out the Blue and Orange Store for all your Boise State gear. The BlueandOrangeStore.com has great deals on the latest hats, jerseys, sweatshirts, jackets, bumper stickers, car flags, and more. Get the latest Ashton Genty Heisman shirts, the NIL gear, coaches sideline apparel, and more. You have many options when it comes to buying your Boise State gear, but you won't find a better and bigger selection than the Blue and Orange Store. Thanks to Travis Hawks and company for their support. Return the favor and shop at the Blue and Orange Store and get ready for game day. Again, you can shop from anywhere online at theblueandorangestore.com or check them out the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall. The best way to start your day is at Jackson's. Step inside Jackson's food stores and discover convenience that goes beyond the pump. From fresh brewed coffee and delicious snacks to a wide selection of groceries and everyday essentials, we've got you covered. Jackson's supports Boise State through NIL deals for Ahmed Hassanin and Breezy Dubar. Don't forget, 25 cents from every hot dog purchase from a Treasure Valley Jackson store goes directly to the Horseshoe Collective. Snag that free banana when you buy a fountain drink, coffee, deli sandwich, or wrap. Find a location near you and sign up for Let's Go Rewards at Jacksons.com. Check out Snake River Pool and Spa, Idaho's #1 local dealer for over 45 years. Whether it's a hot spring spa like the Rains family has, or a pool table, sauna, patio furniture, and more, check out Snake River Pool and Spa. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game are proud partner of Bronco Athletics, supporting the Broncos pools and spas. Check out thespateam.com for pricing, brochures, financing options, specials, and more. Whether it's a hot spring spa, a pool table, or an air hockey table for the game room, Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game has it all. The Rains family recently purchased our hot spring Limelight Flash Spa and we couldn't be happier with the purchase. The installation process was easy, and the spa was up and running in no time. Check out their full inventory and turn your dream into a reality at thespateam.com. All right, back here at Circa Resort and Casino as promised. The man of the hour, Derek Stevens, joining us here on Bronco Nation News. Always a pleasure, Derek, to get to catch up with you. How you doing?
Terrific.
I said I wasn't going to do it, and then I muted you. There we go.
Well, terrific. I'll tell you what, this is probably one of my favorite weekends of the year. Emotions are high, expectations are high. People are ready to take on this season. Contest sign up weekend is pretty special, and thanks for bringing Bronco Nation out here. And think about this: 37 different radio stations and shows coming out just because of beginning of football. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I've seen this. Was this the third year maybe of the contest weekend, or second or third? I know it's grown, and it's getting. I thought you were going to say this is one of your favorite interviews, and then you said one of your favorite weekends. But we always enjoy.
Of course it is.
Of course, come on, Derek. But we always appreciate having you on, and I know you've upped the guarantee this year, and we've already signed up 4. I got my 4 hats right here. I've already signed up 4 entries. We got at least 4 more of folks that are flying down from Boise today to sign up, and we got at least BNN's bringing you at least 8 entries this year. So I think we got you 4 last year. We've doubled it to 8. We're using Tom Carroll, our proxy, and I've been telling people I'm here till Saturday, so I take Venmo, all that stuff. We can sign people up still that want to get in it, but we've got we're upping it in Boise. We're going to have 8 entries at a minimum that I know of, folks that been seeing your commercials and hearing me talk about it and want to get signed up. So I think it's going well.
Well, terrific. Well, I'm glad you had a chance to hook up with Tom.
Yep.
Tom is one of the great proxies here, and I'm glad he's now become the representative for Boise Nation.
He is.
That's right.
Yep. We signed him up with 4 already, and we were going to get him some more as well. So it's been going great. As I said, though, you up the guarantee this year. $10 million for the Survivor, $6 million for the Millions. I know you guys are pushing the Millions. 126 different ways you can win, and that's been the one that's been a little tough for you guys to get to the even in terms of the overlay. But obviously with the $10 million and the $10 million, it was 9.2 last year. You raised it to 10 this year, I believe, and you keep putting more money in the pot, more people keep signing up, and this thing continues to keep growing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not lost on me to think that it was only 6 years ago that we just started our football contest push, and guarantee $1 million. We figured we're an upstart, and then all of a sudden now we're guaranteeing $16 million. So it kind of goes to show how much people love these football contests, and the traditional football contest of Circa Millions, where we're guaranteeing the $6 million. I mean, that's the traditional contest. You get the full season's worth of action.
Yep. 126
ways to win.
Yeah.
If you get hot for a little short spurt, you might get a big payout for one of the quarters. That's pretty amazing. Even how that's grown. I mean, that last year would have been the largest pick 5 football contest in U.S. history. This year, I know we'll break that record. But what I really didn't expect was Circa Survivor. We caught lightning in a bottle with this thing. This thing's been unbelievable to think that, we guaranteed $6 million a couple years ago, then $8 million this year, going to 10. This Circa Survivor is really something special.
Yeah, and I've entered both contests in the past, entering both again, but it's crazy because I do like the appeal of the Millions, where you can be having a horrible year, but the final quarter you get hot and win your $200,000, or if you're in my case, maybe going for the last place booby prize of $100,000 as well. But the Survivor one too. I mean, there's just that appeal of winner take all $10 million at the end. I mean, that one's pretty exciting too, but obviously could be out earlier and have more excitement. I mean, there's pros and cons to both of them.
Yeah, I mean, my recommendation to the people are asking me, what should I do? I said I recommend you enter into each contest.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because you may like one more than the other, but you can't really just evaluate it. You have to experience them. So my recommendation is 1 and 1, and then let's see what happens.
And it goes till September 7th, 2:00 Pacific time. Folks can sign up. You get the hat, you get the entry. On the way down here, I was actually watching one of the VSiN shows on YouTube on the flight, and they were talking about the week 1 picks. And I was like, all right, I got to start diving in here. Week 1's getting close. I got to start. We made it last year, I think, to week 9 or week 10. We were down to the final 300-400. we were one game away because I really love my next 3 picks too. It was the Monday night game. The Bills lost to the Broncos, and if I had gotten past that one, I would have been in great shape. But I'm hoping for another long run here. But some interest right off the bat. There's not a ton of big spreads week 1, and the 1 or 2 that there are ones you may want to save till later. So it's going to be an interesting week 1.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, I think that the game that everybody's talking about right now is Cincinnati is at home against the Patriots. But Cincinnati's a team you may want to save. So you're right about that. I do think we're going to have a decent amount of entries on both the Thursday and the Friday Brazil game.
Okay.
Because if you get knocked out, that's the only week we're able to rebuy up until Saturday morning.
Oh, you can re-get in. Okay.
Yeah. So I think there's a little bit of an advantage taking on the opening games, the Eagles and the Packers on Friday, or the Chiefs game on Thursday night that against Baltimore. Because if you do get knocked out of those, you do have the ability to rebuy in. And what's different this year is when you take a look at a team, let's just say like the Chiefs, you would think there are so many spots in this schedule to take them. I don't know. I'm going to pull up my big.
Yeah, you get.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
This is a little pocket schedule.
Yeah,
right
you got
there.
the real one here. Of course, Derek has the full size one here. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you pull out when you look at the Chiefs, look at across.
Okay.
Where else are you going to take them? You're not going to take them week 2 against Cincy. You don't want to take them at Atlanta. You never, like, for a lot of people, no road teams.
Yeah.
Maybe home against New Orleans. Okay, that one might be. You're not taking no road team. Home against Tampa. I don't know about that. This Denver, yeah, that'd be a legit spot. So you have a spot there,
but not, you got to make it that far. Week 10,
yeah. And then over here, you've got Chiefs maybe in a Black Friday game. So that has special bonus that it's against Vegas.
Okay.
And it's a holiday game. So maybe that's why you would want to hold off on that.
Yeah.
But there's really not that many positions at their home schedule. Look at this Houston. You're not going to take them into Houston. So, and you never know how the Chargers are going to be playing. So I'm not sure you're going to hold it. So even though you got the Super Bowl champs, there's only a couple spots you'd really look at them. So you got to think about that.
I'm looking Saints week 1, maybe. What do you think of the Saints?
Oh, there you go.
They're playing Carolina at home in week 1. That's one team I was looking at.
Yeah, I think that's a heck of a nice play, because when you also look at the Saints, the rest of the schedule, where are you going to take them? Let's say right off the road teams.
Yep.
You're not taking them home against Philly.
No.
You're not taking them home against Tampa, divisional game. Maybe Denver.
Yeah, we'll see what Bo Nix does there.
Maybe again, divisional games, and you keep going all the way. You're not going to take them home against the Rams.
Yeah.
So I think the Saints will be a popular.
And you got to take 20 out of the 32 teams to win it all, I guess,
that's
to get
through.
Yeah.
If you look at it differently, you got to take 20 out of 32, but effectively what that means, there's only 12 teams that you can't take.
Yeah.
So you're going to need to take those are the teams, exactly the way to look at it. Like, where else would you take the Saints?
Yep. Last year there was 2 or 3 just terrible teams. It was Arizona, and I forget who else. Maybe the Giants. Just it was kind of going against teams too. Like, who can you win?
Yeah.
I think I went against somebody like 4 times in the first 7 weeks or whatever, and it paid off. But we are excited too, Derek. And I know you liked this last time. We got a couple more fan comments or questions for you here that I want to get to. But we do have we officially announced we're doing the BNN party for you mentioned the Chiefs Raider game. That's on Sunday here in Las Vegas. The Friday night is Boise State UNLV, and you guys are putting together a little pregame party and going to provide transportation. You discounted some hotel rates for us, and so we've got a package together with Southwest Airlines round trip flight. You get 2 nights at either the D or Circa, pregame party before the game. We'll do like a live broadcast, and then you guys are going to provide transportation to and from the game. So a Friday night in Vegas. We're excited to team up with you, and as we have in the past, fill this place with some blue and orange.
I love it. I love when Boise State comes out here. Thanks for doing what you're doing. I mean, it turns into just a whole lot of fun, great weekend. And one key thing in this package that's worth noting: if you've never been to a game at Allegiant, a football game at Allegiant, I do highly recommend you get your transportation set up in advance. This deal that we've got with M-Ride, it's a couple of former Raiders players that have these big coaches, and they are the only transportation that can get you right to Allegiant. If you don't do something with M-Ride, you're ending up having to having to get dropped off like across the highway over the bridge, and it's a long walk. So I would say that's a big part of this package is this great transportation in and out. So
yeah,
it should be a great weekend.
Yeah, we're looking for. I mean, that's going to be a crazy weekend for you guys with the Chiefs in town as well. But super excited about that and what we're doing for that. And I know several people. Somebody already said can't wait for the UNLV trip to Circa. So we already got one guy right there already coming. And there's also maybe I need to talk to you about this off the air, but I know there's momentum building behind the scenes to try to get Derek Stevens up in Boise on the blue for a football game. We got to make that happen.
We got to figure that out. My assistant should be coming around here any second. That's going to be up to her. We're going to figure out the jigsaw puzzle of the schedule. I would love to do it.
Maybe at the happy hour tonight we can discuss this.
I would love to do that. I would love to. I've actually talked to my wife Nicole about it. I'd love to make that trip. I love making road trips, and there's no place I'd rather go.
And especially it's kind of an iconic college football thing, the blue field, and it's only an hour and a half flight, and we can get the whole crew up there and maybe get you on the field before the game and rent out some sort of bar next door. I think San Diego State game maybe. Or we'll find a big game maybe. I think people would love to have Derek Stevens come up to Boise. That'd be kind of fun.
Love to check.
Let's make it happen. All right, a couple of questions on here. Let's see what we got here. Someone else said looking forward to staying at Circa. Derek, what was this Bronco 130 says? What was the biggest hurdle that you had to overcome to make Circa happen?
Well,
he said LV. I don't know if he's talking about the contest or Circa in general. I don't know. Was the contest easy to get going?
The contest was.
He's saying Las Vegas, I guess.
Oh, Las Vegas.
I'm an idiot. What was it easy to get this thing built?
I had an opportunity to start buying some of the buildings that were on this city block that Circa's on, 9 different businesses, and I never thought I'd be able to buy them all. But over the course of a few years, the stars aligned, and we got lucky. Once we were able to buy this whole city block, that's when our thought process changed and thought about, okay, we can do something a little bit bigger. I always thought that sports was an underserved market, and I started coming to Vegas because I like to come out for wild card weekend. I would come out for all the big fights, and I just thought that a lot of the big resorts had been built in the prior 20 years, kind of treated sports books as just a necessary amenity, and they weren't really passionate about it. Well, we took the other approach. The world's largest sports book. We created Stadium Swim, and we went all in with managing our content and kind of went from there. As far as getting the money, the financing to do it, yeah, that was a little harder than I thought. I never really borrowed that much money before, but things kind of worked out. And I would say in downtown Las Vegas, very, very easy to work with. The politicians, the mayor, Oscar Goodman, Carolyn Goodman, but they were terrific. They were very supportive. So from that perspective, everything was pretty good. I'm really glad we made some conservative decisions when we were going to build this, because in the worst case scenarios, how you do the best case, middle case, worst case, and then super worst case. Yeah. Well, I can sort of tell you, COVID was not part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we got all the financing done in 2018. It wasn't really banking on a pandemic. Fortunately, we were very conservative and got us through it. Opening in the middle of a pandemic, for us, it kind of worked out because we've been sold out every weekend since we've opened.
Yeah, it's crazy.
October 2020.
Henry Hickey says, please thank Derek for supporting BNN. So they're thanking you for that, and I do thank you for that. Nathaniel says,
Henry.
Thanks, BJ. We got to bring you to the blue. Nathaniel says, we got to get like a hashtag on Twitter or something. Bring Derek to the blue. We got to make that happen. But this I wanted to ask you about the Veasan show.
Hey, GB, come on. Hey, this is my executive assistant. This is GB right here. You have to bend down.
So we got a mic 4. Turn on mic 3 here. Here we go.
So they're asking questions. We have to go to Boise. We want to go to Boise for a game here, but I can't commit on my schedule. So it's going to be up to GB over here to get us up to Boise for a game. And look at that.
Make it happen.
She's wearing the Boise outfit today.
She knew.
With the blue.
It's meant to be. See, it's happening then.
All right. Our people, get with your people. We'll make it happen. We gotta fuel the jet and get you up to Boise. Let's make it happen there. That would be unbelievable if we could pull that off. But before we let you go, the Veasan show.
Yep.
Tell us about that. And I know some folks don't get Veasan, but it's on their YouTube channel, and there's a lot of ways that folks can watch it. And I was here last year when they were filming some of that and talking to some of those guys and kind of what that sweat is like late in the season and having a chance. And I don't know where the impetus came to want to do that, but I think it's going to be 5 episodes, and I know some of it's already out, and it's a really cool show to check out.
Yeah, we thought a couple years ago that the energy and emotion of Circa Survivor was worth documenting. So last year we filmed the whole progression from people signing up like effectively this weekend a year ago, and then a sweat throughout the whole season. And it turned into a five-part docuseries. We released the pilot episode earlier this week on X, and on VEASAN put it out on X, and then it's on YouTube as well. And then next week, episodes 2, 3, 4, and 5 will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And it kind of gives you a little bit of behind the scenes of what it was like. It gives the perspective of what it was like for us to kind of run the contest, what it's like for the characters to live through this. So it's been a lot of fun. So it's out there, and it's kind of like a hype video for football to some degree. For football contests.
No, super excited. Somebody asked me, why is it just not possible, or why are there more contests not related to college football?
Well, the tough thing about college football is that the reality is it's just a narrower focus. There are so many teams, and I don't know what we would be able to do as far as guaranteeing something. That's why you can't really do a survivor in college football unless you
only pick this conference or a certain thing.
Yeah, it'd have to be something where you have to pick like 3 games a weekend or something like that. It would have to be something that'd be very, very aggressive. You'd have to get software written to do it, and you have to get software that gets approved by gaming, and that's not that easy.
Sure.
And the thing about the NFL is effectively really a perfect.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the NFL hasn't made a lot of mistakes in the last 30 years. You know? So that's kind of why. For us, we've kind of focused on NFL.
Final thing or two for you. There was some controversy last year with the Survivor where everyone wanted to split, and the guy didn't want to do the split, and then there was a whole thing, and then he ended up losing. From a casino's perspective, I guess do you care? You probably don't want to do a split, or do you care when folks do that? And what did you make of all that last year where some wanted to split the pot and then chop it up, and then the one guy didn't, and then some people thought it was worked out nicely. That guy got booted right away. But what did you make of all that?
Well, every good story needs a villain, and boy did this one. You're kind of foreshadowing episode 4. And
sorry.
5.
Okay.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
All right.
But this fellow, a professional poker player, a big sports gambler, very successful. I think when it got down to 100, people started talking about a chop, and this guy was Sean Perry. He was relentless. I'm not chopping. It got all the way down to 13. I think 12 out of the 13 people wanted to chop. He said, I'm not chopping. Well, if one person says they're not chopping, there's no chop. So what ended up happening, he got knocked out, I think, with about 10 people left. That's going to be a big part of this docuseries.
From the casino's perspective and the sports book, do you guys care you're paying out either way, or what is in terms of people hedging bets maybe that would put more money in the pot, or do you guys care?
Well, we're going to be paying the money out no matter what. What we're going to do is, for example, in Survivor, let's say you get down, you're in that last week. Well, we're gonna deal from the casino perspective. And let's say you're the only one. We're paying you the whole thing.
Okay.
Now, you could come in and say, okay, it's time to collect here after the season's over, and you might come in with 5, 10 other people and say, these are all my partners. This person, I sold him 5% way back in September. This person's 10%. This person, they all got to come in, and everybody's got to agree to it. And if that's the case,
is that for tax purposes or what?
For tax purposes. So we would give you the $1 million W2G if you were 10% of it. Somebody else was so we'll do it all that way, but everyone has to agree. So the biggest thing I tell anybody that may be buying in, because I see a lot of these things online. Oh, I want to buy in. I want to buy 3% of a ticket, 5% of a ticket. Well, the buyer better make sure you know who you're buying from, because let's just say somebody comes up out of the blue and says, hey, I'm a 10% owner on BJ's ticket, and you look at Jeff Benson at the counter, you look at me,
I don't know this guy,
you say, I don't know this guy. Okay, well, you're the ticket holder, we're going to you, and he's out in left field. So you got to make sure you know who you're dealing with.
Wow.
So from our perspective, if there's any controversy, we just go to the ticket holder, and that's how we're going to pay it.
But you don't really, because you're paying out the $10 million, it doesn't really matter to you. If there's more suspense if you keep it riding. I mean, that takes a little, but sometimes when they chop it, they take a smaller percentage and they still keep, part of the pot for the winner. So there's still reason to play on, but
yeah, there's still reason to play on. I think there's an element where I think at some point people really do want to set the bar high.
Yeah.
Where 2.3 million is now the current high individual payout.
Okay.
Well, at some point it's kind of nice to, who's going to break it? Who's going to break it? And I know there's going to be other people that are going to say, hey, I'm not chopping. I want to win the whole thing. So
there's been at least a chop every year of some, I mean, not a chop, but there's been multiple ties. It's not been one person that's been left.
There's never been one person that's won the whole thing before. A couple years ago, it came down to a Monday night game.
Okay.
Where there could have been one person.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then I think the other 3 or 4 entries made it, but there was a moment in time where there was one individual that could have won it, but it's never happened yet.
Okay. Well, final question for you. For folks that are watching this, that want to Venmo me their money, that aren't in town or are in town or can get here by Saturday, September 7th at 2:00. I mean, I think the last 20 minutes has been reason enough, but what will be your final sales pitch for folks up in Boise or around the world to enter these contests?
Well, I think you're going to get a lot of value out of it. First off, if you do something with BJ, now you got a friend.
There you go.
And
you got a friend here. That means you got another friend.
and I think when we make it up to Boise, generally when we go into bars, we generally put the credit card down and we open up the bar. So you're going to get a few free drinks out of the deal.
There you go.
Too.
Yes.
But I do think the value of the Circa Millions is tremendous. I mean, this is a positive EV tournament. Whether we hit the 6 million or not, there's people that forget to put the picks in because they're not using proxies and things like that, like you're doing with Tom. So I think you have a good value tournament. It's probably the best bet you can ever make. There's no hold percentage here. So I would say the Circa Millions would be the one I'm pitching the most. Circuit Survivor will be the most volatile, obviously. That's a life-changing type of contest. So I hope you join in, and I hope I see many of you over the next couple weeks as you're coming out to Vegas.
And I think if we pull this off and get you up to Boise, I think the 8, 9, 10, whatever ends up being people that are in the contest deserve some sort of extra beverage at the bar or something up in Boise if you make it up there. If you're in the Circa contest, we got to have something for those guys to get some sort of extra benefit or something.
I love to do that. Plus some of you guys from the golf tournament. We sent casino host Tyler Mays up to visit with you.
Yep.
He was very enamored. His drives flew a little bit more than they do in some other places. It was pretty awesome.
I've been trying to get Darren and I said that we need to just get a whole foursome of Circa folks in the golf tournament next year. But it would always enjoy having him up there, and it's been a lot of fun. And we really appreciate Circa everything you guys are doing with Bronco Nation News. And let's get you up. We get the hashtag going. Bring Derek to Boise, and we'll try to make it happen. And we'll sign some folks up for the contest, and we'll see you at the event this evening. I got a guy I got to have you meet. He's a former NFL player, and he was a former coach at Boise State, he's actually going to be co-hosting with me tomorrow, but played with Brett Favre on the Packers, and he's a big-time guy. He's never been to Circa, and I got him to come down. He's signing up for the contest, and he'll be at the event tonight, so I'll make sure I introduce you. So
awesome.
He's looking forward to meeting you. So thanks again, Derek.
Thank you.
Derek Stevens, we appreciate him. Hey, don't forget Bauscher Real Estate. Check him out. #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Bauscher Real Estate. We appreciate Matt Bauscher and his team for their support of Bronco Nation News. And again, check them out, BauscherRealEstate.com for all your real estate needs. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Check them out as well. 13 locations across the state of Idaho and more in the surrounding states as well. Ridley's Family Markets. Check them out, shopridleys.com. Don't forget as well about Transportation Compliance Service, TCS, transcompservice.com. If you're looking to get into the trucking industry, they're a national company based in Boise, and they can help you out. TCS, Transportation Compliance Service. Make sure you check out our friends at Transportation Compliance Service. Been telling you about Lean Feast as well. Check out Lean Feast. You want some healthy eating? Make sure you check out Lean Feast. Our friends at Lean Feast do a tremendous job. Healthy eating, and I got to tell you, it's delivery every Monday. We get our orders delivered to the house, and it is well worth the price, and it's free delivery too. So there is literally zero chance to not eat healthy in the Boise area. So make sure you check them out, leanfeast.com. And if you need, again, more information on the contest, $16 million in guaranteed prizes, check it out. And we appreciate your support of Bronco Nation News. And we thank them and Circa. I hope you guys sign up for these contests. And we're having a lot of fun down here. And we appreciate Derek Stevens for joining us. And again, tomorrow morning, we will have Brad Bedell, and we'll also have John Molchon, Super Bowl winning lineman with Tom Brady and the Patriots, or with the Tom Brady and the Bucks. And then we'll also have our friend Brad Bedell, and we're going to tell some NFL stories. We got some great stories apparently about that. So we are looking forward to tomorrow's episode as well. And again, if you want in, we can sign you up. Just let me know. We'll take your money. We'll sign you up. We'd be happy to have you here at Circa Resort and Casino. We can sign you up. And really looking forward to doing that as well. So a great show. Really appreciate all you guys for checking us out. We appreciate Derek Stevens for jumping on, and awesome stuff here at Contest Weekend in Las Vegas. So pretty crazy. About 3 years ago, just randomly met Derek, and then what it's evolved to, and getting a chance to become friends with so many people here at Circa. It's just a tremendous place. We're super thankful and excited. And we're signing some people up, giving out some hats. I really like this hat, the Circa Millions hat, the dark blue. It's a really nice looking cap here. So you get a $1,000 cap if you enter the contest. So looking forward to signing some more folks up today. Going to hit up the pool, hit up the event later today, and then we'll be back tomorrow morning again. New time, 10 a.m. Mountain Time tomorrow for our special edition show, 9 a.m. here in Vegas. But it's going to be Brad Bedell, John Molchon live on set here. We'll be having some fun. So check us out tomorrow. If you want to get in these contests and you heard all about it, again, reach out to me, email me, DM me on Twitter. We can sign you up. We can hook you up and get you in these contests while we're down here this weekend in Vegas. So looking forward to it. Been fun already. And again, thanks to everybody here at Circa for having us. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And by the way, somebody asked about the Chris Marshall interview that's not on YouTube yet. I said it yesterday, but he said some really, really good stuff, some powerful stuff, to be honest with you, that I didn't want to just throw on YouTube for free and for other media people and folks to get. So it was a one-on-one with just me, and I wanted to save the interview. So I'm going to try to work on a story in the next week, talk to his family members and get some more information, and then put a big story on BNN for subscribers, and then we'll probably put the YouTube video up after that. So it is coming. It was a great interview, but I didn't want to rush and put it out there for nobody. So somebody's asking about how hammered Brad will be at 9 a.m. Well, the event tonight is open bar, and it goes till 10, so we'll see if we can keep him going all night. Maybe hungover is the better term. I don't know. We'll see. But again, 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Mountain Time in Boise tomorrow. We'll have Brad Bedell, John Molchon, and myself live here at Circa Resort and Casino. So thanks again to Jason Beaver, our tech guy, getting us on and off the air. Thanks again to Derek Stevens and everybody here at Circa, having fun down here for Contest Weekend. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that like button on the video as well. And if you can give us your $50, BroncoNationNews.com. You get a daily email, exclusive content, and everything. It's football season is here. Game week starts on Monday. Jump in now with a subscription. You won't be disappointed. So appreciate everybody. Have a great rest of your day. If you're flying down today for Contest Weekend, like the Draper family, like my wife, like Brad Bedell, Connor Johnstone, some of you guys that I know are coming down for the contest, fly safe. We'll see you soon. And we'll talk to you at 10 a.m. in Boise tomorrow. Bronco Nation News live from Circa Resort and Casino here at BroncoNationNews.com.